All right, so today we're going to dig into the world of data mining. But here's the cool part. This explainer is for everyone, not just coders. We're going to break down how you can find some amazing insights that are hiding in plain sight. So let's jump right in. You know, we're basically swimming in an ocean of data every single day. So the big question is, how do we possibly sift through all that noise to find the really good stuff? I'm talking about those game-changing patterns, the hidden insights that help us make way smarter decisions. Well, that's exactly what data mining is all about. Okay, to make this super simple, I want you to think of yourself as a data explorer. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to find that buried treasure, those incredible insights we just talked about. And you know, like any good explorer, you can't just wander out into the wilderness. You're going to need a plan. You're going to need a map, a compass, and the right gear for the job. So, first things first, every explorer needs a map. Now, in our world of data mining, the map is basically a proven step-by-step process. It's a thing that keeps us on the right path and honestly makes sure our little exploration actually leads somewhere, to a real discovery.
And let me tell you, the stakes can be incredibly high. I mean, going in without a map, you could make some major mistakes. Think about it, a bank opening a new branch in a totally wrong location, or even a medical prediction being just a little bit off. That's why having a solid process, our map, is so crucial. It helps prevent those massive blunders. Seriously, this map isn't just a friendly suggestion, it's absolutely essential.
So, let's be super clear about what this map of ours actually is. A data mining process is really just a guide. It lays out the essential steps one by one. It's basically designed to make sure the whole analysis is done correctly, which helps us skip over those common pitfalls and find insights we can actually, trust.
Okay, so you're probably wondering, what does one of these maps actually look like? Well, a really common and super reliable one is called SEMA. And yep, it's an acronym. It stands for Sample, Explore, Modify, Model, and Assess. It just provides a fantastic, totally logical flow for any project.
You can see the whole journey laid out right here. First, you sample the data, you're just grabbing a manageable chunk to work with. Then you explore it, often using charts and graphs just to get a feel for what you've got. Next up, you modify the data, which is a fancy way of saying you clean it up. After that comes the fun part. You model, applying different algorithms to find those patterns. And finally, you assess everything to pick the very best model. See? It's a really clear path from a giant, messy pile of data to a real, valuable insight.
Okay, awesome. You've got your map, the SEMAS process. But think about it. A map only shows you the terrain, right? You still need something to tell you which direction to head in. You need a compass. And in data mining, your compass is the method you choose to use.
So, where do you point that compass? This is a really big moment, because this is where you have to make a fundamental choice about what you're actually trying to do. Are you trying to predict a very specific outcome, or are you just kind of exploring the data to see what interesting structures pop out?
And that choice really breaks down into two main directions. On one side, you've got what's called supervised learning. This is what you use when you have a specific target in mind. The classic example is predicting if an email is spam or not. You have a clear question. Then on the other side, there's unsupervised learning. With this one, there's no target. You're just letting the data speak for itself, asking it to reveal its own hidden structure. A great example of this is finding natural groupings of customers. So yeah, the goal of your project is what points your compass in the right direction. All right, we've got our map, we've got our compass. The final piece of our explorer's kit is the gear, the toolkit. And this is pretty straightforward. It's the software you're going to use to actually do the analysis.
And honestly, this is the best part. Data mining is not just for computer engineering majors anymore. Not by a long shot. There are some incredibly powerful, super accessible tools out there for everyone. It doesn't matter what your coding background is, the toolkit has completely changed the game.
Basically, you've got two main types of gear you can choose from. First, you have point-and-click software, things like SAS Enterprise Miner or SPS Modeler. These are fantastic because they're super user-friendly, especially for non-programmers. Then you have the coding approach, using languages like Python or R. This gives you a ton of flexibility, but yeah, you have to be comfortable with coding. It really is just about picking the toolkit that fits your skills and your comfort level.
Okay, so let's pull all of this together. We are now officially equipped as data explorers. You've got the core components you need to start your own journey and hopefully find some incredibly valuable insights.
So, here is your final Data Explorers checklist. 1.
Always start with a map, a solid process like Sevilla. 2. Choose your compass by deciding if you're doing supervised or unsupervised learning. 3. Pack the right toolkit for you, whether that's point and click or a coding language. And finally, and this is the most important part, never forget the goal. You are on a quest to uncover those hidden, unknown patterns that nobody else has spotted yet.
Look, we are surrounded by an absolute ocean of data, and it's just filled with undiscovered treasures. Now that you have the map, the compass, and the toolkit, the only question left is, what hidden treasures will you be the first to find?